What's up, guys? Welcome to Youthful Entrepreneurs. So Youthful Entrepreneurs is a company that I've been wanting to start since I've been in my 20s, and I want to offer everything for free, guys. I want to offer a whole bunch of free advice and business advice on how to start a business and how to become a successful business person in whatever success terms means to you, whatever that means to you. And so you know, on this website, on my website, you'll see different things over time. Now, this is a new company, but over time, you will be seeing more content because I just believe that there needs to be more free content explaining from beginning to end how to start a business and how to be successful in business. Guys, I think there is a huge gap in connecting people who want to better our economy and better their lives, and the information that is out there, and getting that information to people in order for them to be successful. And so that's one of my goals here on YE. Youthful Entrepreneurs is just a name that says, hey guys, no matter how old you are, we all want to be youthful at heart, and there is a drive that you have when you're younger, and you can have a huge drive to start a business, to really get your own foot in the door of starting your own company and working for yourself. Now, there are many avenues of working for yourself. Now, this can be something as simple as gig work, where you're doing, DoorDash, Instacart, Uber, Lyft. And those things are like a 1099 form where you're, working for another company, but it's really like you're working for yourself. But this could be all the way up to also starting your own actual retail space, or this could be starting your own trade. Maybe you're a plumber. Maybe you want to be a plumber and start your own plumbing business. It doesn't have to always be, a retail business or different things like that. Now, one of the things that I want to try to do is bring content to you both on the website and on YouTube. And eventually, I think it would be cool to have a location where you can go and get business advice for free, no matter where you are in your stage. Now, the SBA has something like this where it's called mentorship. But guys, one of the things that I think is lacking is the connection between getting people, the right resources that they need, and people actually caring about your business and your success. Guys, there are so many ways that we can improve our economy that we're just at the tip of the iceberg as far as the ways and the businesses that people can start in order to really make America, more of a prosperous nation and more of a nation that has a strong economy from its working class. Now, hey, it's not always about starting your business and being on your own all the time. Sometimes we have to learn the ropes by working for other people in order to really gain that experience that we need in order to start and venture out on your own. And so, join me on this journey to being an entrepreneur, and a youthful entrepreneur at that, where we are, passionate about working for ourselves. We're passionate about our content, guys. One of the things that I see entrepreneurs doing so much is that they just create content, but they really don't have a connection to it. They're just making it for a quick buck. And guys, that's great if that's what you want to do. But, you can really get burned out if you do not have a drive for what you're doing. If you don't have a reason behind your business, then if you're just doing it for a quick buck, once you face a problem, you're gonna be like, hey, I'm out of here because, I'll go find a quick buck somewhere else. But if you have some sort of reason behind your entrepreneurship, it doesn't have to be a huge reason. It doesn't have to be, you want to, make the whole world a peaceful world. No, that's a huge task. But maybe it's because your dad was interested in entrepreneurship and got you started. Maybe it was because you just learned about how you can work for yourself, and that is something that interests you. Now, there are so many things that we can talk about, but one of the things that I want to try to do is go through some popular business books and really, get to see what the experts are saying when it comes to starting your business and working for yourself. Guys, we know that sometimes when you're working for an employer, that you don't have the space to be creative like you want to. I mean, it's not so easy to just say to your boss, hey, I see you're doing it this way, but I feel like this is a better way to do it. And you may have a good idea. Now, sometimes that doesn't mean that you have to venture out and start your own business, but sometimes that is the answer when you realize that the company that you're working for is not necessarily innovative, where they are, making steps to improve their company. And so that's where I believe one way entrepreneurship can benefit somebody. It's from having your own ideas and the ideas of others come together to create a company that is profitable. For this first episode, I think one thing that I want to first mention is having some sort of vision. Before you start learning how to be an entrepreneur, before you start learning how to start a business, I believe you need to have some sort of pathway that you're looking to take in order to get to the goal that you're trying to have. So first, you need to realize, what is your goal? Do you want to make a retail space and have a clothing company? Do you want to go into candle making? Or do you want to, like I was saying, maybe you have a trade. Maybe you want to start your own plumbing business or your own electrical company. So having some sort of vision, which leads me up to the next point, is having a plan in place. Now, this doesn't have, it's kind of like when you start a business, they always recommend that you create a business plan. But I believe also you need to have some sort of plan in place. And you can do it like me. Sometimes I just talk about a lot what I want to do. Sometimes I'll brush my ideas off of people. And I don't necessarily always have a written journal or list about what I want to do, but it's good to have some shape or form of a plan in place after you have your vision about what your company is going to be and what are some of your values, what are some things that you want to do to contribute to the business world and the world in general. Now, also, how big do you want your company to be? Are you looking to be just a local business with just one storefront? Or do you look to be the next Amazon or, the next Google, or maybe something medium sized, maybe something like, let's say a food company, like, I'm trying to think of something that is not necessarily super huge, but, medium size. This could be something like, I don't know, In-N-Out. In-N-Out Burger is big. Everyone's kind of heard of In-N-Out Burger for the most part, in America at least, but they're not everywhere like McDonald's. And so they're kind of a medium-sized company where they're still huge, but they're not necessarily like an empire. And so having a plan in place. Now, I want to talk about some steps that you can take for having a vision and having a plan. What you can do is just to get started. You can do it like many people have done, which is, to just get started in some area and see how that goes. But the downside is, if you do not have a vision or a plan, then just getting started in one area, which you could do, can take you a little bit longer. If you're trying to go down the path, your plan may include going to college, or your plan may be including reading 100 books on business, every single word. Maybe your plan is, to go to mentoring through the SBA. Having some form of plan in place, I think, is always important. And how to do that, I think, can come from talking with other people, seeing how they have done it, or do your research. There are a lot of little documentaries that you can watch that other companies have done on their company, where, you can see how they became who they are. And you can also visit the company that you want to sort of mimic, or maybe you're completely new. Like, not maybe you're maybe piggybacking off of another idea, but maybe your route of business is one of those road less travel routes. And so in that case, science kind of has a saying. When you are sort of and I'm blanking on the exact name, but in science, when you're testing something, sometimes you do, when you're discovering something or trying to learn more about something, sometimes you do test, sometimes you do research, sometimes you create theories, and sometimes you do experiments. And those same types of concepts can be used in business. Now, how I have done it is, you know, from the small business that I have done it more from the experience route, where I'm going to different places and learning about different things. I'm testing out my business knowledge. I'm starting a website. I'm, you know, starting a YouTube channel type of thing and learning that way and going through books, but also through college. I highly recommend going to college, guys. I know a lot of business people don't put a lot of emphasis on college and they say, hey, just figure it out on your own. You won't really hear a lot of that from my channel because I put a lot of emphasis on studying and, you know, acquiring your knowledge from either someone else. This could be in person. Maybe you sit down with someone often and talk to them. This could be reading books. This could be reading articles, doing something to give yourself a leg up where you don't have to do the testing so much, where you're starting all these small businesses trying to figure it out and you're going along the way. Guys, you know, that's worked for many people like Bill Gates, you know, a great business person, right? Where he, you know, created Microsoft, but I believe Bill Gates is a unique exception. You know, Mark Zuckerberg, those guys are unique exceptions because when you think about it, the majority of businesses that are out there are not necessarily Amazon or Google, guys. There's a whole bunch of small little businesses that build up the empire of America or our economy. And so, guys, if your route is to go through no experience, then, you know, why even watch this video, right? You just need to get out there and, you know, hustle and try to make it. But guys, I don't recommend doing that. I think that, you know, hey, the path to where you're going may take 5 years, may take 1 year, you know, but if you don't get caught up on, hey, I need the $1 million now, hey, I need to be the top company now, then you can learn and grow, but you can speed up along the way too. But for this video, I'm talking about vision and having a plan. Guys, I've noticed how when I first wanted to do Youthful Entrepreneurs, I had a vision about starting maybe a t-shirt company or an art company and having it be about young people. But then as years went on and as I matured and got older and had more different experiences in my life, the vision for my company changed. And that's okay, guys. And so sometimes when you're in your 18, 19, 20-year-old, you may have a vision for your company and that's solid. Go with that. But always be open to maybe your business or the route that you're taking can shift over time. For example, you know, Microsoft is not only a, you know, computer company, guys. It really isn't. You know, Bill Gates has reached a point where he is in many different fields, guys. And the same can happen with us where we first want to maybe just sell t-shirts. You know, I want to start my own clothing company. But Daymond John is a great example of that, where he started FUBU, but it shifted. He's you know, FUBU was for a point, but guys, you don't see FUBU anywhere. You don't see anyone wearing any FUBU. And it's because his vision for his company adapted as time grew on. And that's the same thing that can happen with yours. So keep an open mind with having your vision shift. But once you have the vision down, try to get some rough estimate of a plan in place. Guys, I'm reaching over here for my journal. If you just get a journal, which you probably already have, you can write down some of the ideas that you have and maybe write down a path of how you feel like you're gonna get there. Are you going to go to college for a year or 2 years or 4 years? Are you going to not go to college, but maybe read a lot of books and talk to a lot of people? Whatever your route has to, get it on paper, get it on your phone notes, get it on video. Maybe you can record a video, with the new technology that we have today. Paper is kind of becoming outdated, but, having some sort of written plan in place, I think can help you, because one of the things when I was in my 20s is I don't remember ever sitting down and saying, hey, what's my plan to get this accomplished? Because guys, when you start having your plan in place, and if you realize that, oh, I don't have enough money to do this, or you realize that I don't have enough time, then once you start going and running for your business and you start, trying to make things happen, you can run into roadblocks a lot easier because, you're not having some sort of plan in place. Now, guys, what I highly recommend is also, like I was previously talking about, is looking at the plans that other people have made and how they have done it. And then maybe you can take your journal and write down what they have done. Now, again, you can not go the education route, and that's fine, but you cannot tell me that Bill Gates and Jeff Bezos just walked out of their door and all of a sudden they had Amazon and had Microsoft. Guys, as much as you want to think that will happen, that is not how it went. Guys, they were smart people, okay? Bill Gates, from the different documentaries that you can watch, he was, very astute as far as computers are concerned, and you don't get, when it comes to computers, guys, I don't know if you've ever taken a computer class, but it's not something that you can just get by glancing. I don't think the documentaries ever say that Bill Gates is necessarily a genius where he just knew about computers. And no, guys, he had to get his knowledge from somewhere, and most likely it was through education. But there was a point where he reached a point where education only took him so far, and he was like, okay, I know what to do, and now I'm just gonna do it. So that's kind of the goal, really, is to get to that point where you feel confident enough to know what to do and know how to do it. And that's why I recommend some form of education as you're figuring out your vision, as you're figuring out your plan. You can start getting things in the works in order to, do that. Now, this is the same thing as starting out with having a business plan. They always recommend having a business plan. Guys, I've written a business plan before, and it's not a magic thing that just makes your business happen. Now, it definitely, I think is much needed to have on pen and paper a lot of what you're going to do. But, I just recommend, jotting things down and in an informal way where you can, have on your paper, on your piece of paper, when you go to sleep and wake up, you can look at your piece of paper and say, okay, this is the goal that I need to reach today. Like, I need to get to chapter 6 in this book, or I need to, go down to the SBA and see what resources they have there. But if you spend all your time searching and getting education, guys, that does not necessarily mean you're successful, because we also have to take into account what Bill Gates and what Mark Zuckerberg and people like them did. They also took action. And so that would be the last thing that I would say for this first video, is have the vision, have the plan, and then take some sort of action. And then you can kind of see where you're at. Now, guys, from my studies and different things like that, I kind of know where I'm at, but I just realized that I'm not where I need to be yet as far as feeling confident enough to know what I'm doing. And that's, I think, one of the most important things, is that if you don't know what you're doing, you're kind of running around with like a chicken with his head cut off, where you're going to, start a business. And so you go to Shopify, right? And you're like, oh, I'm gonna figure out drop shipping. I watched that video on YouTube that said, I can get 40,000 a month doing drop shipping. Well, okay, but it's not always a simple, easy task once you start. Now, thinking about things as an entrepreneur, it's so easy to think, oh, you know, I'm gonna be the next Jeff Bezos. I'm gonna be the next Bill Gates. I got this down. But guys, when you actually go and start to do it, you realize that what they did is not so easy. And it really does, you know, take some dedication and hard work if that's what your vision is for your company. Now, again, my vision for my company is to stay here in Washington, guys. It's to stay where I'm at in Seattle. And that's just my personal preference, is to have a small to medium sized company. But if that's not your vision, guys, then, you know, adjust accordingly. And so on this channel, you know, I will be going through it's kind of like a blog. It's kind of like a, you know, how-to videos where we're going through some of the steps that need to be taken in order to be successful at business. And so, you know, there's so much, my style, guys, of talking and, you know, is more of a without a teleprompter type of deal. Sometimes I use teleprompters in my videos, but what I've realized is that it takes away a lot of time to write down every single word that I want to say, and I feel like it's just unnecessary at times. I think that, you know, having notes that I look at during these videos is enough. And guys, I want to be going through some simple books that I believe can help us. Now, the main book that I'm going to be using is How to Start a Business for Dummies. And it's for the For Dummies series. I'm going to be going through this book, and we're just going to start off like that. And so, hey, you'll be able to go to my website once I have that up and ready. You'll be able to go to my website and check out, you know, different articles, different videos that can help you along your business journey. So guys, if this appeals to you, if this seems like something that you could be interested in, along with any other videos that you watch from other creators and YouTubers, then please hit the subscribe button. Please like this video, and thanks for your time.